Hello, how are you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing something new, I'm bringing something different. I felt like a lot of people didn't know me and they didn't know what I do. So I'm an accountant. Right now I'm a buzzer stroke secretary. You people are making me speak English, but that is what I do. So I want us to focus on something really cool. Something really cool and something that brings headache to some people's heads, but I want us to tackle it right now. Oh my god, I have a lot of aura in my mouth, but let us dive straight into everything that I want to talk about. So today I want to talk about financial management, and financial management is broad. It's broad, but I feel like a lot small businesses have not been catered for. Everybody who comes up with a video, it's a video for a big business, for a big company, but nobody talks about small businesses. So guys, I'm here for you because even the business that I do is small. Yeah, I do snacks, and my business is called Mobi Snacks. So I want to help my fellow people with the knowledge that I have. Yeah. So financial management, as you hear, financial management is basically managing your finances. And when you talk about finances, we're talking about money. Like we're talking about your money, we're talking about your money at the bank, and the money that you have in cash, and probably the money zobanja, because bobo banja sente, that is your money. Yeah. So financial management has like three, should I call them types? They're not types, they're actually under financial management. Okay, let us break it down into three. So in financial management, we have financial planning. Financial planning, like for instance, you're planning to set up a shop. Yeah, you want to set up a shop, and then you're wondering, you're asking yourself, you're like, oh my god, where am I going to set up the shop? So there are all types of planning. Like some people do the spiritual planning, you understand? You're like, oh my god, this year in my prayer request, the next year I want a shop, I want a business of my own. That is spiritual planning. And then you go ahead to plan spiritually. You're like, oh my god, this January I'm going to fast for my shop, I'm going to fast and pray for my shop. I was just going to say fasting, and then I remembered one time Bishop said fasting without prayer is like he called it something kwerumyanjala. Anyway, it does not yield anything. So after you've done all those types of planning for your business, we have what we call financial planning. So financial planning requires, if you're going to get goods from someone, like for instance, you're going to buy goods, you're setting up a shop, you're like, oh my god, I'm going to buy my fridge from here, I'm going to buy the portion from here, the rice from here. Like you're planning financially. So you sit down and you're like, okay, if I'm going to buy from these places, am I going to pay in cash, or I'm going to take the goods on credit, or I'm going to pay half cash and then half credit, or I'm going to swap for something. Yeah, I'm going to swap the stuff that I want for something. Like for instance, you have a smart TV at home, and then you need a fridge to go to your shop. You can either take for them, because a lot of times these days I'm seeing people accepting swaps. So swaps, okay, a lot of you may think, what is a swap? Swap is like exchange in the layman's language, exchange. So you accept the swaps, and you take the smart TV, and then they give you a fridge. So after there, you're planning, okay, I have bought my fridge. Is it going to be delivered for free, or I have to incur some expenses? Because in accounting, when you incur the expenses on purchases, ezo tuba tuziyita carriage inwards. So that is actually an expense that we don't want to incur. So those, like, you have to plan very well, and you're like, hey, if Obeli is giving me free, like if he is giving me if Kweli is actually giving me free delivery and Jumia isn't giving me free delivery, then I think I should go with Kweli. You understand such stuff. So that is basically financial planning and all other plannings that you would think about. So the next thing under financial management, it's financial control. Yeah, so you've stocked your shop, everything is there. So how are we going to control the finances? Are you going to get all the finances and put them at the bank, or you're going to get all the money and keep it in cash? Because when you get all the money and keep it at the bank, you're going to be incurring bank charges when you withdraw the money when you need it. And in accounting, even when you withdraw and you're charged with something as small as 50, like 50 for 7 days or 7 times, that is 3,500. That is a lot of money. You can use it for something else. So right now we don't need that. Like, we need to plan very well, you understand? So if you think about something and you're like, oh, let me keep all my money in cash, a thief can come, or you can misplace that money. Yeah, you can keep it in your bag and then you can misplace the bag, or the kid may move out with the bag and throw it anywhere. You know what happens with kids. Kids are unpredictable. So that is control. Like, the best thing would be some at the bank and some in cash, you understand? So you have to look over the you have to look over the finances, like the cash flow, sente mekezi ingira, mekezi fuluma, like buli chimu. Like, that is what we call control. Like, you're controlling the finances. Some people will bring stuff no bagamba, like sometimes you're purchasing stuff, but you're not going to be paying cash every time you're purchasing, you understand? Sometimes you're going to tell someone, are you give me on credit, you understand? So the next thing, lastly but not the least branch of financial management, is financial decision making. In financial decision making, we have investment decisions, you understand? Like, for instance, you have a shop. Yeah, you have a shop and then you realize in the whole area you don't have anybody who does popcorn, so you need a popcorn machine. So how are you going to by the way, what I forgot, in financial control is where we have the financial statements, all the financial statements. There are many, but most of the people actually, what they know a journal, they know a trial balance, they know a ledger, they know a balance sheet, and they know the income statement. So a lot of people just basically focus on that. And since we are dealing with small businesses, we shall go on building it slowly by slowly. This video is going to have lots and lots of episodes. Yeah, the financial management is going to have lots and lots and lots and lots of episodes. So under financial decision making, actually financial decision making is determined by the statements that you made in financial control. So you need a popcorn machine. You look at your balance sheet and then you realize you don't actually have cash. So if you don't have cash, what are you going to do? Automatically you're going to go for a loan. If you have a very, very good relationship with your bank, you're going to go for a loan because they will give it to you. If you look at yourself and you're like, oh my god, I don't have money, but probably my sister can help me out, my boyfriend can help me out, my husband can help me out, then you can tell them to either invest in the business or because like charities are not good in business, you understand? So you either tell hubby, you're like, munange hubby, you help me with 500, I'll give it to you back, yeah, with some interest or without interest. So that is a part of financial decision making. So when we talk about financial management, we mean financial planning, financial control, and financial decision making. Hope that is being made clear. Yeah, hope I did not talk a lot, but a lot of people mistake bookkeeping for actually accounting. I want to say the difference right here. Bookkeeping is the process of writing the transactions. Like, bookkeepers do the statements, like they do the journals. Okay, they do the journals, they do the ledgers, they do the trial balances, okay, they do a lot of different stuff, you understand? Like, they do those financial statements. But Accounting goes deeper than just preparing financial statements. Accounting actually involves interpreting and analyzing. And in interpreting and analyzing, we actually look at the ratios. Like there are some ratios that we do to realize, are these workers mob, oba the workers between abatono, are these assets being utilized well, or they are not being utilized. So you just don't look at a car. For instance, you have a car at your company, and then the boss just doesn't just look at the car and they're like, it looks nice. The car looks nice. I think it is not being utilized well. No, there are some ratios that we go through, and I will give them to you, yeah, in the episodes to come. So I want to pass through you guys through the accounting process. So the accounting process requires recording transactions. My mom has a shop, not a big shop, it's a small shop. I was talking to her sometime and I told her, actually buy a book and be writing everything that you sell and everything that you buy, like everything that you do for this business, write it down. So that is called recording. And if we want to go into the accounting process, that is called journalizing. Yeah, that is what we call a journal. So that is journalizing. So journalizing involves to write everything that you do. Like you've sold a kilogram of sugar, you write it down. Quarter ya mchele, you write it down. Buto wa bibiri, you write it down. Jidita ya chikumi, you write it down. Like, aren't you things that are very easier for you to know in small scale businesses, you understand? So that is called journalizing, and in the layman's language, it's recording the transactions. So we go ahead. After recording the transactions, we have classifying the transactions. Oh my god, my sinuses are so bad. So we have classifying the transactions. So classifying the transactions, like you've recorded, like my mom has recorded sugar, today I sold sugar, rice, posho, bichi, all that stuff. So I have to classify. Classifying, I open up something called a ledger, like you see on your screen. That is a ledger. So I do a ledger for everything. A ledger for sugar, a ledger for razor blades, a ledger for rice. So I say, this was the rice that was bought. We bought rice 100 kilograms. Today, on Monday, we sold 2 kilograms. On Tuesday, we sold quarter. On Thursday, we did not sell. Just like that. Now I'm classifying. So you do the same for all the products that you have in your shop. That you have sold so far, you do the same. So on the ledger, we have the debit side and the credit side. The debit side is on the left, and the credit side is on the right, you understand? So we shall get to know more Seyo. So after doing a ledger, we summarize. Summarizing involves doing something called a trial balance. Trial balance, now let me give it to you guys clearly. Like, in the first process, it was journalizing. The journal brought us to a ledger. So right now the ledger is bringing us to what is called the trial balance. So we get stuff from the trial balance, like we get stuff from the ledger, from the journal to the ledger, from the ledger to the trial balance. You understand? From the trial balance to the balance sheet, from the balance sheet to the profit and loss. From the profit and loss, we go to the cash overflow. The process goes on continuing just like that, just like we shall see. So after you've summarized these transactions, interpretation and analyzing, because when I bring for you the trial balance and I throw it to you, I'm like, trial balance yiyo, balance sheet yiyo, profit and loss yiyo, cash flow, you're not going to understand anything. So I have to interpret this stuff for you. So after interpreting the stuff, in the process of interpreting, I have to even analyze. Analyzing requires me doing the ratios that I talked about. So those ratios, when they are done, that is when we realize that tulina abakozi bangi, like tulina emmeeza nnyingi, tuyina entebe nnyingi, you understand. So the accounting process requires recording transactions, classifying transactions, summarizing transactions, interpreting and analyzing transactions. Oh my god, guys, it's been good having you here. And just to give you a clip of what will be happening in the next episode, I will talk about the importances of bookkeeping. I'll talk about the users of accounting information, and I will talk about the definitions of the key terms in accounting if God allows us. Guys, everybody needs accounting.